Hello there, dear friends, and welcome once again to the Relaxed Fantasy Review. Before we begin, I wanted to mention that the channel has memberships now. If you have a look below the video, you should see a little join button down there. For $1 a month, you can support me, you get a little badge next to your name in the comments, and you get to basically get my undying gratitude. If I see you down there, I'll make sure to thank you with all of my energy. Thanks for watching, and thanks for supporting the channel. Today, we're going to be doing another beginner's character build. We're going to be discussing what is, debatably, the most powerful class in all of D&D, bar none, the Paladin. Paladins are what you get if you take the holy magic of a cleric, the combat proficiency of a fighter, and the sheer determination of the barbarian, and you put them all together into one super powerful character. Paladins are holy warriors sworn to oaths, and they are a pain in the butt because they're complicated. Paladins need a lot of stuff to work properly. So we're going to build one from the ground up, starting at level 1, and going through step by step how I recommend a person build their very first paladin. So first thing we have to choose when we are building a character is our race, our ancestry. And for this one, we're going to go with good old reliable variant human. Variant humans are a very interesting race that were right in the player's handbook. And they get real simple stuff. They get +1 to 2 ability scores, and they get skill proficiency, and they get a free feat. And because this character is going to need some feats, we're going to take Variant Human. Why not custom lineage? Because I wanted 2 +1s instead of 1 +2. See, the thing about Paladins is that they're quite multiple ability score dependent, or MAD. You want a good constitution, since you're a frontline fighter. So, in this case, I put a 15 in my constitution, and one of my +1s there, so I have a 16 con. But you also want either a good strength or a good charisma, depending on how you want your paladin to play. More leaning into spells, or more leaning into weapon fighting. In this case, I decided to put my another 15 in my strength and a +1 there. So I have a 16 strength and a 16 con. And then I put a 14 in my charisma. This left me with a 10 in wisdom and then an 8 in dexterity and intelligence. So yeah, kind of struggling on the stats there a little bit, but we've got the numbers where it matters most. The free feat that we're taking as a variant human is Polearm Master. Polearm Master, when we use a polearm weapon, there's a list on the feat that tells you what you're allowed to use. You can make opportunity attacks when creatures enter your reach, which means the 10 foot that you get with most polearms. And when you attack with a polearm, you can use your bonus action to attack with the other end of it, using a blunt attack, using the butt end of the weapon. This extra attack does 1d4 plus your modifier. So yeah, we've already weaponized our bonus action reliably, as long as we're using a polearm. For the background here, I've chosen Folk Hero. Pretty standard stuff. You're well known amongst your village, and yeah, solid pick. Alignment, lawful good. Very, very traditional paladin. Paladins get get saving throw proficiencies in wisdom and charisma saves, and I chose the skill proficiencies of animal handling, insight, perception, religion, and survival, and that's just through my background and through my through my paladin class. And I think one of those was from Variant Human, probably perception. Then, as a level 1 paladin, you get the Divine Sense feature, which means as an action you can sense creatures like undead that are nearby. And you get the Lay on Hands power. For every level you go in paladin, you get 5 points. You can either use these to restore a point of hit points to a creature, including yourself, as an action, Or you can spend all 5 to cure a disease or a poison, so not a bad healing power. And you get a fighting style. I chose the defense fighting style here. The defense fighting style bumps your armor class by 1, so that's just a permanent buff to our survivability. Now, as far as my equipment goes, you get heavy armor as a paladin, so I chose chainmail as my starting armor. And I grabbed an explorer's pack and a holy symbol. I also grabbed a shield, and not that I'm going to use it much. And then I grabbed 2 weapons. A halberd, which is a polearm. It's a 1d10 weapon with reach, meaning that you can attack creatures 10 feet away instead of 5. I also grabbed a spear, in case I was in a situation where I really needed to defend myself more than I needed to deal a lot of damage, because you can still use the shield and one-hand the spear, and the spear qualifies for Polearm Master. So although you're doing less damage, you can still do your bonus action attack and buff your AC by 2. So you can either have an AC of 17 with the halberd and have reach, or you can have the shield and spear and not have reach but have an AC of 19. That's really your pick. I'm going to go with the halberd because it does do a little more damage. And there's another reason we're going to want it later on anyway. So here we are at level 1. When we go into combat, we're going to do the most basic thing. We're going to run in, we're going to attack, and then we're going to bonus action attack. And that's how we fight. Against a CR 1/4 creature, we will hit 65% of the time. We will do an average of 14 damage per turn, which isn't terrible, meaning we can kill a creature in about 3 rounds. Against a CR1 creature, same per hit percentage, same amount of damage, 65% and 14. We can kill them in about 6 rounds. Our hit points, because we have a d10 hit die, we have 13 hit points, and an armor class, like I said, of 17, which I'm assuming. A CR 1/4 creature is only going to hit us 35% of the time, do an average of 5 damage, so that'll take 3 rounds for them to kill us, so we can hold our own against them. And then against the CR1 creature, same hit percentage, 35%, 12 average damage, meaning it'll actually take them 2 rounds to kill us. So we're doing okay, tank-wise. Then at level 2, we get the power Divine Smite. Divine Smite means that every time we hit with our weapon, we can use a spell slot and do an extra 2d8 radiant damage per level of the spell. Oh, did I mention we also get spell casting at level 2? Paladins are charisma casters, and what that means is that I'm not very strong with my spells if I'm going to be using saving throws or attack-based spells, because I only have a +2 to my charisma and a +2 to my proficiency bonus. But we do still get spells. So you get spells equal to your charisma modifier plus half your paladin level. So in this case, that's 1 plus 2. So we get 3 spells. I grabbed Cure Wounds for an extra easy heal. Thunderous Smite, which is a bonus action spell that uses concentration, but it allows us to smite for thunder damage and to knock enemies prone. So if you need to knock someone down, that works. But the real kicker here is the Bless spell. A paladin can cast Bless and concentrate on it for a minute, choose 3 allies or themselves and 2 others, and they each get a d4 to all of their attacks and their saving throws for that minute. So it makes you much more likely to hit with your attacks. So solid pick. I'm saying take Bless. Now, how often should you smite? Well, considering you're using 1 spell slot for Bless, and the other one you might want to save for an emergency Cure Wounds, I'd say don't. If you really want to kill someone fast, yes, you can Divine Smite, and technically you can Divine Smite on both attacks. So if you attack once and then Polearm Mastered bonus action attack, you could smite twice, dealing 1d10 plus 1d4 plus 6 plus 4d8. So yeah, you could Nova somebody, but now you're going to be out of spells for a long rest. So I don't recommend doing that unless you really need to kill something now. In any case, let's move on to level 3. Level 3, we don't get any more spells, but well, not through spell casting, because we only went up one level and our charisma hasn't changed. But what we did get is we got our subclass. As a paladin, you choose this at level 3, and I've chosen the Oath of Vengeance. This is one of the most powerful paladins in the whole game, and it's actually reasonably simple to play. I picked it not just because it's powerful, but because it's easy. The Paladin of Vengeance gets the Divine Health feature, which allows them, that's every Paladin gets Divine Health. It makes them immune to disease, which is fine. But then they get their Channel Divinity. And this Channel Divinity feature, you can use it once per rest, and you can do one of two things with it. You can either use Abjure Enemy, which is effectively a turn effect. It makes creatures frightened of you. But that's not what we want. What we want is the Vow of Enmity. You use your Channel Divinity, and you swear an Oath of Vengeance against a specific creature. Vengeance Paladins are famous for this, because you effectively choose the biggest, baddest target on the battlefield, and you say, I'm gonna kill you. Once you've sworn this Vow of Enmity, there is no saving throw, there is no resisting it. They are now your sworn enemy, and every attack against them has advantage for the next minute, which is really strong. There's no concentration requirement, so you can keep Bless up while you do this. So, yeah. Let's talk about our tactics at level 3. Oh, you also get some expanded spells. You get some spells added to your list. For the Vengeance Paladin, you get Hunter's Mark. Is Hunter's Mark better than Bane? Or better than Bless? Maybe. Depends if you really want to hit or really want to do damage. Personally, I'm going to keep Bless on and let Hunter's Mark sit by the wayside, but I could totally see an argument for using Hunter's Mark instead of Bless. It just takes a bonus action to cast, and our Channel Divinity also takes a bonus action, so it's a little clunkier in the first round of combat. You also get Bane added to your spell list, which is just the anti-Bless. So, if you really want to debuff your enemies instead of buff yourself, fine. So our combat tactic, once again, I'm not assuming we're smiting. I'm assuming that we are using our spell slot on Bless, saving the rest for Cure Wounds if we need it, and if we happen to get an enemy we just need to Nova, or we crit or something and we want to double a smite damage, then sure, I could see doing that, but I'm not working that into the math. What I'm then going to say is on round 1, we're going to use our action to cast Bless, use our bonus action to Vow of Enmity. And then on round 2, we're going to rush in and attack, bonus action attack. Polearm Master is awesome like that. Because Bless buffs our attacks by a d4 and Vow of Enmity gives us advantage, our chance to hit is absolutely sky high right now. Against a CR1 creature, we're going to hit 95% of the time. Basically, the only time we're going to miss is if we crit fail. We're going to do still 14 average damage. That hasn't changed. So it's still going to take 6 rounds to kill the enemy, but we're never going to really miss. Against a CR3 creature, same percent chance to hit. 95% chance. 14 average damage, 8 rounds to kill that enemy. As far as defense goes, not a whole lot's changed in that regard. Our health has gone up. So at this point, we would have gained 9 hit points per level. So 18 plus 13, we have 31 hit points. A CR1 creature is going to hit us 35% of the time, do 12 average damage, kill us in 3 rounds. A CR3 creature will do 40% chance to hit, 24 average damage, kill us in 2 rounds. That's reasonably consistent with the last time we did this. We just got more hit points, and we're going to hit way more often. Like, we're going to hit 3 times as often as they are, so we still are standing pretty solid on the front line. Then at level 4, we're going to get an ability score increase or feat. And I've chosen the feat. You may have seen this coming. Great Weapon Master. When you mix this with Polearm Master, it becomes absolutely insane. Firstly, if you crit, you get to bonus action attack, which we got to do anyway, so that's not really a big deal. But if you decide, when you make an attack, to take a -5 penalty to the attack's chance to hit, and you still hit, you will do 10 extra damage per hit. what's so good about this is the fact that because we're attacking twice, the butt attack of the weapon can do this as well. So you attack with the Great Weapon Master buff, and then bonus action attack with the Great Weapon Master buff. So this is really good, but it's about to get criminally insane, because at level 5, we get extra attack. Which means that now we can attack twice when we take the attack action, and bonus action attack with Polearm Master. So we're attacking 3 times in a round. What this means is that we are going to, if all 3 attacks hit, we're going to do 1d10 per halberd attack, which is 2d10, plus 1d4 for the butt of the weapon, plus our strength modifier for each attack, so that's 9, plus 30 for Great Weapon Master if we do it all 3 times. Now you might say, well, -5 to hit makes us hit less often. Sure, but you remember how we were hitting 95% of the time before? Because Bless is still active, and Vow of Enmity is still a thing. So here's how this is going to work. Also, you get more spells. You get some 2nd level spell slots and 2nd level spells. Your Vengeance Paladin gives you Hold Person and Misty Step, some great utility spells, and combat control. And you get I've chosen to get Fine Steed, because what Paladin doesn't want Fine Steed? But here's how combat is going to go down. First round of combat, Bless, Vow of Enmity. Same as we've been doing all along. Then we rush in, we attack, extra attack, bonus action attack, all of which that use Great Weapon Master. This is why we like the halberd instead of the spear, because you can't Great Weapon Master with the spear. Against the CR2 enemy, with these buffs and nerfs to our hits, we're going to hit 85% of the time on average. And we're going to do an average damage of 53. And remember, this is not while smiting. This is just doing our normal damage. If we wanted to smite on every attack, so that would be 3 attacks smiting, that's an extra 6d8 damage. So that would take the 53 up like an even higher echelon. That would be another, 27 damage. So that puts you at 80 damage for a Nova round. But just round after round, using Polearm Master, Great Weapon Master, you can do 53 damage, which means it'll take 2 rounds to kill a CR2 creature. A CR5 creature, which is a boss monster at this level, you have a 75% chance to hit them. You do 53 average damage. It takes 3 rounds to kill them. So, yeah, you're sitting pretty solid, killing just a couple rounds, even against bosses. As far as your defense goes, your AC hasn't changed. It's still 17. CR2 creatures have a 35% chance to hit you. They do 18 average damage, and you have 49 hit points, so it takes 3 rounds to kill you. So you're killing them faster than they're killing you. Finally, the CR5 creature has a 50% chance to hit you. Does 36 damage on average, so they can kill you in 2 rounds, but they're only hitting you half the time. So there's a solid chance that you're going to beat the boss one-on-one. If you swear your Vow of Enmity against them, and if you Divine Smite, you're almost definitely going to Nova a boss in a round or 2. But yeah, Paladins have a reputation for a reason. They are strong, they can use any armor, any weapon. They've got Divine Smite, which I didn't even work into my math. Once you do that, it becomes absolutely nuts. You also get decent spell casting. Bless is solid. Hunter's Mark if you're a Vengeance Paladin. There's a lot going on here, but it's real simple for a person after they've built the Paladin, because the Paladins are complex to build. You have to worry about multiple stats, focus on your lay on hands and your spell slots and all the rest of that. But once it's all built and you're just the Paladin going into fight, it's real easy. You swear a Vow of Enmity. All a beginner player has to do is go in, I'm going to kill that guy. And then they go over and kill that guy. That's what you do. Your Bless is also buffing your party. You've got emergency healing if you need it. It's just top tier stuff. I think that Paladins are so much fun, and if you go with something like Vengeance, this little easy layout, Blessed Vow of Enmity, and then just attack, 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 real fun, lots of dice, lots of big numbers, and you're going to have a blast playing a Paladin if you take this route. There's a lot of other ways to play Paladins, a lot of other subclasses to choose from, other builds, but this one right here is simple, powerful, and you will not regret playing it. This has been the Relaxed Fantasy Review. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe down below. Look out for that join button down there, and keep your eyes peeled for more character builds coming down the line soon. Have a good one, my friends.